Hey everybody, Chris Englebert with Englebert Financial Advisers in Allentown, Pennsylvania with the weekly QDEC update. And you can see by my slide deck that I'm going to be talking about making charitable contributions. Now, this is typically the time of year when people start writing checks to their favorite charities. And what I want to talk about today is a couple of ways that you can do it without obviously hurting yourself and maximizing how much you help the charity. So the first one that's up is required minimum distributions. If you're over the age of 72, your required minimum distribution is calculated every year. And what ends up happening is you've got to take that RMD before the end of the year, because if you don't, you end up paying a 50% penalty on whatever you don't take out as far as required minimum distribution. So the other thing that people don't realize, or maybe they do when they have their taxes done, is that your required minimum distribution counts as income for the year that you take it out. So if it's 2022 and your RMD is $10,000, guess what? You're going to be paying taxes as if you made an additional $10,000 for the year. But wait, there's something that you can do. If you give money every year to a charity, rather than writing a check out of your checking account, what you can do is typically get a form from the custodian, and as long as it's a legitimate 501(c) or charitable organization, not a made-up one like Seinfeld had when it was called the Human Fund. We all saw that episode. But if it's a legitimate organization, you can get a form and direct a portion of your RMD or all of your RMD to that charity. Now, what does that do? Let's say, for example, you have a $10,000 RMD and you give $2,000 to the United Way or whatever your charity of choice is. What's going to happen is that your 1099-R is only going to show that you had an RMD for $8,000. Now, some people are very generous and give their entire RMD to charitable organizations because they're trying to keep their total taxable income down. Well, guess what? If you do it with your RMD, you win, and so does the charity. They win as well, too. So that's the easy one to do. The other one to do is something called a donor-advised fund. Now, when somebody hears about a donor-advised fund, they're like, wow, you got to have a lot of money to set up your own donor-advised fund. Well, guess what? Bill Gates set up a donor-advised fund with $50 billion. However, you can set up a donor-advised fund with as little as $100. Now, why would you want to have a donor-advised fund? Because you can do some very unique things with a donor-advised fund. Let's say you give $2,000 every year to a charity. You can write checks out for the next 5 years to the donor-advised, from the donor-advised fund to the different charities, and that way you can spread out how much you give as far as the donor-advised fund disbursements go. But by putting the $10,000 in up front, you get that whole tax deduction. The other thing that's really cool about a donor-advised fund is if you have some highly appreciated stock, you can take that highly appreciated stock, put it into the donor-advised fund. They sell it inside the donor-advised fund. You see a balance inside your donor-advised fund. You can then begin distributing that, but more importantly, you don't pay tax on that highly appreciated stock. No, it's not a scam. It's something that you can do, and I would definitely suggest that people check out donor-advised fund. But the third thing that you can do is you can gift highly appreciated assets. So if you don't have a donor-advised fund, and let's say you've held on to a company like Air Products for 20 years, and you have a super low cost basis in that stock. And if you sell that stock, you're going to pay a tremendous amount of capital gains. What you can do instead is actually gift that stock to the charitable organization that you want to make the contribution to. Many of them, almost all of them, have some type of an account set up that they will receive or accept that stock. And so therefore, you can claim it as a deduction and not pay the capital gains. So these are the three of the most popular ways that you can give money at the end of the year to the charity of your choice and do it in a very effective way where it really doesn't hurt you, but it maximizes helping the charity. If you ever want more information on this, you can always contact us. Go to our website, englebertfa.com. Our contact information is there, or better yet, download my app by texting Chris E, C-H-R-I-S-E to 36260. You can download my app, contact us, and watch many of the videos that we record, like this one that we're doing right now. That's all we have for this week, folks. We'll be back next week. Talk to you later.